everyone. It's Enjoy English School. Today is May 9th. We're on pages 20 and 21. It's day one of our two-day article called Behind the Mask.
我们今天5月9号在20、21页，我们今天要讲的是这个面具的。
So let's look at our subtitle right away today because we have a lot to talk about. Throughout the world, masks are worn on many occasions for many reasons.
那在这个世界各地，这个面具或者说我们说口罩，它在很多的场合有很多的原因都一直被携带着。
So today, of course, is our origins article, and we're going to look at our masks in history, including the masks we gotta kind of wear today.
Yeah.
So with that, let's get ready for paragraph 1. But first, let's listen to the article.
Behind the mask. In these times of a global pandemic, masks have become part of our daily lives. But actually, masks have always been around in one way or another. Let's take a look at just how they've evolved over the course of human history. We don't know exactly when people first started wearing masks. We could have started wearing them as far back as 40,000 years ago. That's when humans created the first artwork with figures that combined human and animal qualities. To date, however, the oldest masks ever discovered are around 9,000 years old. Generally, it's believed that people first started wearing masks as a sign of authority. From there, masks took on a number of different roles. In ancient Greece, they were worn for Dionysia, parties where the normal rules of society ceased to apply. Later, at the Carnival of Venice, from around the mid-13th century, masks were used to make everyone feel equal. In the 15th century, Jewish people began wearing carnival masks during their Purim festivities. In short, masks have been worn for thousands of years and for many different purposes. What's more, almost every culture has its own unique form of masks, with their own meanings and traditions behind them.
All right, let's start with our first paragraph. In these times of a global pandemic, masks have become part of our daily lives.
那在疫情全球流行的这个期间，口罩 mask 已经成为我们日常生活的一个部分了。
So this is year 3 of our COVID pandemic, yeah? Yeah, I'm happy to protect other people. I'm happy to wear the mask, but I'm not going to lie. I'm really tired of wearing masks. It's hard to teach with a mask because I have to talk really loudly, and it makes my mask fall down a lot. And so, all day long, my mask falls, pull it back up. Talk, falls down, pull it back up. But they're important. It's a tough time we're in right now, I think.
Yeah.
So let's look at the word daily. Daily just means every day. But daily and everyday here are just one words. So these could be a part of our everyday, 一个单词 lives.
所以在这边我们 daily daily 他们不要看到 ly 就想说很开心说它是副词哦，这边不是哦，它是形容词 daily 代表他说每天的日常生活的。如果你要用 every day 也可以，但注意 every 跟 day 中间是没有空格的。
That's right, but we can 去掉 daily and then by every day 放在 lives 后面 we can say become part of our lives every 空格 day. Oh, English is so easy. All right, let's continue. But actually, masks have always been around in one way or another.
但事实上呢，面罩一直以来都以各种形式存在的 one of another.
Let's continue. Let's take a look at just how they've evolved over the course of human history.
那就让我们一探面具究竟是如何在人类历史中演变的吧。
So we have evolved, that just means change, and over the course of just means in the time that something happens. So if you're studying English and you're at school, you start in August, and you study till June? Yes?
September to June.
September to June. That September to June time is your course. when you go to university, you need to pick your courses, and you learn a lot in those 3 months or 7 months, whatever. So over the course of just means in this time.
所以 over the course of 刚刚老师有讲我们的 course 其实就是一个课程的意思，或者是一个时段的意思，所以 over the course 怎么翻译呢？应该就可以翻译说在这个时间中、时段中。
Let's continue. We don't know exactly when people first started wearing masks.
那我们不清楚人类到底何时、什么时候是第一次穿戴面具的。
Yeah, and right away you have the question, what kind of mask was this? And that's what we're going to look at next. We could have started wearing them as far back as,猜猜看, how do you say this?
40,000
years ago. That's right.
那我们有可能早在4万年前就已经戴上了它们哦。
Now, counting in English and in Chinese, it looks really hard, but it's because you're overthinking it. It's actually pretty simple. You just need a little practice. Let's learn how to do this. Okay? So in English, we have 3个数字逗号, 3个数字逗号, 3个数字逗号。我们没有这个1万的 So when Chinese we have 5 numbers, 我们开始用那个1万、2万的这个概念。You don't use that at all in English. So 这个1万你就擦掉。Okay? 你看3个数字念出来逗号，3个数字念出来逗号。So we can see this 40这个到底是什么意思 ？040 Okay? 040怎么说？就是 40。这个第一个逗号叫什么 ？1000。So 这个数字不是 for 10,000， 错 ，it's 40,000。如果你前面加a one, we have 140. 140怎么说 ？140逗号1000。It's really simple. just记得3个数字，3个数字，3个数字，3个数字。Alright, let's continue. Yes.
老师刚刚那段是用中文讲的啊，所以大家加油哦。
Yes,
3个数字一个逗号就是1000，就是 thousand。
I never teach
第二个嘞
numbers. I never teach numbers in English. I never teach it because it's just easier to say it in Chinese. It's a hard thing, so please practice, but just remember, 3个数字. Let's continue. That's when humans created the first artwork with figures that combined human and animal qualities.
那我们回到刚刚上一句，他说是早在4万年前就戴上了口罩或者是面罩。那个时候的人们创作了第一件同时具有动物和人类特征的一个艺术品。
Now we know the word people, but we have the word human here, and we know there's synonyms. 他们同义字 it's just 人, right? So why did we say humans here? Because this is not like us today culturally. This is about science. This is about kind of more like the animal human. So we don't want to say the word people. People has a lot of culture to it. This is much more like the early humans. So it's more science than anything.
所以在这边我们不用 people 的原因是因为 people 可能还包含了一个人的个性、一个人的文化、一个人的特质。但我们现在没有，我们就要讲人这个最本体的东西，所以我们就会用 human 这个字。
Yeah, so combined human and animal qualities. We have kind of the talking more about our bodies than our culture here. Our next sentence, to date, that means until now, however, the oldest masks ever discovered are around 对，三个数字009 9,000 years old.
所以然而呢，至今最古老的面具约莫是在9000年前发现的。
That's right. So, and this kind of makes sense because what did most people use in the past? Well, they'll use wood, they'll use grass, and what happens to wood and grass? It rots. It will disappear. That's right. And so they don't exist. Maybe there are older masks, but metal was very hard to use for most of human history. The oldest masks are gone.
所以如果以前用木头跟草，可能更早以前他们有用这些原料，但是早就已经烂光了，我们现在也无法考究了。
That's right. And with that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 2. Generally, it's believed that people first started wearing masks as a sign of authority.
Wow, so generally, 一般认为，人们起初穿戴面具呢是一种权力 authority 的象征哦。
So we can underline it's believed, and this is the present passive voice. So we have be is MR plus our past participle, believed. Who believes this? Well, just scientists, historians. 谁相信这个不重要，就是我们相信。That's right. So who does it? 不重要，就是这个东西 that's what we think. And they wear masks as a sign of authority. Here, a sign means to represent.
所以 assign 这边也可以用 represent, represent, represent 代表的意思。
And the word authority, we can cross out ity. We have the word author. And an author means a person that writes a book. That's right. So authors in the past usually really were quite wealthy. They had a lot of education. And in the past, we know most people didn't go to school very much. They couldn't read. They couldn't write. So how could they write a book? So authors had a lot of power. They were already rich. They already were educated. They could read and write. Authors in the past were very special people. Today, everybody can read and write. So author and authority are very closely related to control.
所以老师这边说，如果你觉得 authority 这个字很难的话，你可以先把 ty 拿掉，先记前面 author 这个字作家。那以前在没有念书的社会上，很多人都不识字，不会写字。如果你识字写字还可以写书，那你就是一个很有权力的人。所以 author, authority 两个字就可以一起把它连接在一起。
From there, masks took on, gained, or added a number of different roles.
那自此之后呢，面具开始承担许多不一样的 roles， 不一样的角色。
In ancient Greece, they were worn for Dionysia, parties where the normal rules of society ceased to apply.
那在古希腊里面，人们在酒神酒会上 Dionysia 他穿戴面具，那正常的社会规则不再适用于这些派对之中。
So cease means to stop. It's a very formal word. Normally we could just say stopped, but cease sounds like a very strong word. Even police won't say this. This is like a king or a queen would normally say this word. So it's quite formal. You usually only talk about it in writing.
所以 cease 这个字口语上比较少用。那以前呢，要用这个字可能也是就是比较 authority 有权贵那些人在用。那 cease 基本上其实就是我们口语里面 stop 停止的意思。
So Dionysia was in ancient Greece, like we said, and Dionysius was the god of fertility. That means if you wanted to have a baby, you would pray to Dionysius. What's interesting is Dionysius didn't have their own children. So when they say normal rules of society cease to apply, and we're talking about the God that makes babies, well, you can kind of figure it out. But it also was a lot about art. There were big art and acting performances there, and that was really famous. This is where a lot of the early great stories come from.
老师说 Dionysia 是有点像是如果你想要生小孩，那你就会去拜这个 Dionysia 这个神。对。
Yep, that's right. And so a lot of classic art from there. Okay. Let's continue. Later at the Carnival of Venice, from around the mid-13th century, masks were used to make everyone feel equal.
那后来呢，大约在13世纪开始他们举办的这个威尼斯嘉年华之中，面具是用来使每个人感觉 equal， 感觉平等。
This is because in the past, you had to be very careful where you fit in society. Really wealthy people did not talk to the really poor people, and poor people could not talk to the wealthy, or you could die.
那这个是因为以前在那个13世纪那个时候，他们非常有那种种族阶级制度。那有钱人是不太会跟那种穷人讲话，穷人是绝对不可以跟有钱人讲话，不然你会死掉哦。
That's right. But if you put out a mask and you kind of wore different clothes, you can't see who is in high society, who is very low, and it helped everyone be equal.
所以这时候如果你戴上口罩、戴上面罩，那你就看不清楚是谁，那就会让大家比较equal，比较平等。
In the 15th century, Jewish people began wearing carnival masks during their Purim festivities.
那在
festivities.
那在15世纪的时候，犹太人开始在这个普尔 festivity 节庆典中戴上这种嘉年华的面具。
So festivities, festival, they all look like the word feast, F-E-A-S-T. And feast, of course, means a very big meal.
大餐.
That's right. Usually at a holiday, think of like American Thanksgiving or Chinese New Year. You have a lot of food. And that's a feast. That's a festival. It's all about that food.
所以 feast, festival, festivity 这些字其实全部都是来自于像 feast 大餐这种代表很盛大、很隆重、很丰富的这些。
Okay, so what are one of the most important masks in history? The death mask.
死亡面罩。
That's right. Even hearing the name, you can kind of guess. Don't forget, you're looking at a video right now, or maybe you're listening, and in the past, there are no cameras. You can't take a picture, and getting a painting was very expensive. Most people didn't have it. So how did we remember what our family looked like when they died? Well, they would make a mask of their face.
好，老师刚刚讲说，以前呢，我们要拍照啊，要画图是一件很难的事情，要留下一个人的印象或留下一个人的影像是很难的事情。所以呢，这个时候 death mask 就所谓的死亡面罩，它就是一个非常算是一个很先进的科技，也是大家会使用的。当你的家人过世的时候，你就会帮他做一个这种死亡面罩，保留下来他的样子。
That's right. And what you would actually do is you have the outside made them young, but inside it looked like your family's mask. You could fill it and then take it out, and you can see kind of your family member's mask. It wasn't perfect, but a lot of artists would actually paint famous dead people from a long time ago. So if someone died a very, very long time ago, you might ask, well, how did you know what they look like? Usually because they looked at the death mask.
所以老师说，如果以前的人他们如果有办法说描绘出他们的过世的家人，人家就会问说，那你是怎么样知道他的长相？通常都是因为他们在过世的时候有留下所谓的 death mask， 有死亡面罩这个东西。
That's right. So we could see the paintings of someone maybe 1000年前 they died, and you could still paint them accurately because you can look at the death mask. That's really important. Also, police in the past would use death masks and show people and say, do you know this person? The police couldn't show you a picture. They had to show you the death mask.
然后以前警察在办案，如果有一些死亡案件，他会给你看这个 death mask， 然后去看说，你这个是你的家属，你认不认识这个人？因为以前是没有办法说像现在立刻可以拍照，立刻可以做出一些影像处理的。
Now, if there was a problem with the face, they can use a hand mask. Also, I have these very big veins in my hands. And my family would know it's my hands. So that's 更恶心。
对，然后如果他的脸部，如果说那个死亡亡者他的脸部有受伤，那他们可能就会改成用手模啊之类的来去辨认说这个死者是谁。
All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to finish our story. All right, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's finish today's article. In short, masks have been worn for thousands of years and for many different purposes.
In short 其实就是简而言之，那面具已经因为许多不同目的而被穿戴数达好几千年之久。
To review, to recap, R-E-C-A-P. What's more, almost every culture has its own unique form of masks with their own meanings and traditions behind them.
那老师刚刚讲的 to recap 其实就是刚刚 in short 简而言之，另外一个讲法就是我们再一次 recap 再一次去把重点讲一讲的意思。那后面刚刚老师讲的 what's more 就是更多的是更甚者，几乎所有的文化都有自己独特形态的一种面具，那面具下呢也有各自的意义跟传统。
So we want to ask you today, before we finish, we want to ask you, what do you think are the most famous masks in history? And you can think, is it like just 口罩 that we wear today? Or is there something from the past? Think really hard about this. Tomorrow we're going to tell you our picks about what we think are the most famous masks. But we want to know what you think first. And then we can kind of compare our answers from today and tomorrow.
所以我们明天的文章会接续今天的。先在明天以前想一想，你生命中你觉得哪样子、什么样的面具、面罩可以代表你的文化，或者是什么样的面具、面罩对你来讲印象比较深刻呢？
Yeah, we want to know. You tell us down in these comments, and I'm really interested. Will we think of anything the same? I'm definitely thinking from like an American's mind.
老师给你提示哦。
Yeah. One more thing before we go. One thing I feel really unhappy about with our masks is I find them in the garbage a lot now. I find them on the ground. And one thing that people don't do is they don't pull the straps, right? And I think about this because sometimes on the internet, like I'll see like a picture of an animal and its head is stuck in a can or there's like some garbage on it. Like I always think like if you don't pull this, I know my mask is going to like kill some animal. It makes me feel really bad.
所以老师要这边呼吁大家，你的口罩要丢掉以前，把那个袋子先撕开哦，这样子动物才不会不小心套进去。
That's right. My cats like to chew them too, so I'm very careful about putting my mask. They'll sit there and just chew on it. Say, does that taste good?
Probably not.
All right. Well, with that, let's get ready for vocab review. All right, friends, it's time for our vocab review. And our first word today is an adjective, global.
Which is 全球的。
Worldwide. Next, we have over the course of something.
就代表说在点点点的过程中。
And that's a prepositional phrase. Next, we have our adverb, exactly.
就是代表说到底确切地 exactly.
Number 4, to date.
至今 to date.
To date actually is a really old way of just saying today.
Today.
From the past to today, to now. Next, we have number 5, authority.
权力它是一个不可数名词。
That's right. And next, we have number 6, to take on.
代表说去承担。
Number 7, to cease.
Cease 它是一个很正式的用法，其实就是 stop 暂停、停止的意思。
A lawyer might say cease and desist. That means stop doing this thing. Number 8 is in short.
那老师刚刚补充有讲过 to recap， 它其实就是简而言之。
That's right. To in short and to recap are really useful. Give them a good practice. Now, again, just before we go, don't forget, we want to hear what are the most famous masks in history. Tomorrow, we'll tell you our list, and we'll see if we don't match up. All right, for Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.